Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. My name is Plummy, and in this episode of RayDK, I'm gonna be reacting to two groups which at this point came back a while ago, those being BVNDIT and NCT 127, and specifically the three songs of the first one being by BVNDIT called Come and Get It, and the other two being NCT 127's Elevator and Nonstop. So without further ado, I guess let's just jump into it, starting off with Come and Get It in 3, 2, 1. Are we sure this is not an NCT song? Okay, that's definitely not something I expected to hear from BVNDIT. It has more of a rap beat, or trap beat, should I say. I definitely made the right choice in putting these two groups together for our reaction. I love how they're really nailing this song with their low pitched voices. Like, they're not going for the high pitches, and I think that's why they're nailing this song so well. Because even though it has more of a what you would think would be used in a rap song, they're still nailing it with vocals. But they're not really rapping, yet they're still nailing it. Ooh, those vocals were really good. Okay, that Come and Get It part is getting a little bit repetitive. Okay, so about this song, as much as I like the beat and what they're doing with the song, I still think they should have stuck with more vocal based kind of song. Like, even if it was with this beat, I feel like they should have just filled it with more vocals, because BVNDIT's strength is in the vocals. Like, they're such good vocalists, and on top of everything, they are also very unique, because in comparison to other female idols, they actually sing in much lower voices than the average idol. They actually do that, and it still sounds so good. And for the most part, like, in every second of the song in which they sing, they freaking nail it. But I just don't really think the beat meshes well with the kind of like group that they are. Although I really like the beat because it's very kind of a trap beat, I guess. And I think they do it still really well. It just doesn't jive as well as it should be or could be. But overall, I still enjoyed it. But there's definitely some things to be desired about the song. It's still a decent, or should I say pretty good song of theirs, but it's nothing really mind-blowing. So yeah, personally I'm gonna give it an 8.4 out of 10 because it is an enjoyable one, but it's not a song that I'll really go out of my way to listen to. Well, objectively I think I'm gonna go for an 8.9 out of 10 because for somebody who is super really into BVNDIT, even though I could say that I am also, but just not as much, I'm just really into their vocal stuff. If somebody is a genuine like a stan of theirs, I think they'll very much enjoy this song because it definitely adds a little bit of a variety to their music, that's for sure. But yeah, it's still not like a crazy 9 or a 10 out of 10, but 8.8 is not too bad. So now let's get into the next song of this video, that being NCT 127's Elevator. So yeah, I guess let's get into it and see whether I'm gonna like it. I'm actually more excited for Nonstop because at first when I reacted to Punch, I wasn't really that into the song. It definitely grew on me afterwards, and I realized that it was kind of like a video game song. But I heard that Nonstop is better by people who also said they didn't like Punch, so I'm curious whether I'm gonna like it. But still, now we're gonna be listening to Elevator, so let's get into it in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I guess this is gonna be more of a happy, playful kind of song. Kind of funky, I like it. It actually reminds me of some Twice song that I can't put my... what was the name of it? It was some song that is sung in English. Ooh, I like that instrumental. Wait, since when does Yuta rap? Oh, I love this part. I love that at least when they do instrumental choruses, K-pop groups at least do very interesting instrumentals. Because at least it keeps it interesting. This is definitely a song more for the vocalist, that's for sure. It's not really a song that I would really listen to, most likely. But I'm still enjoying it right now as I'm listening to it, so there's that. And I also like the fact that the vocalists are also getting some spotlight. It's also not half bad in general. Okay, so yeah, as I said, it was a good song for what it is, but what it is not something that I would really listen to. But it definitely was a pleasant song, and I like that it gives some variety to NCT's discography. And it's probably one of the better vocal songs of theirs that I've listened to, and definitely some of the more interesting ones. But it's still nothing really to write home about. Like, it's not something that I would really listen to because it's not my style. But I still enjoyed it, so I guess I'm gonna give it an 8.9 out of 10 because I think it's a good song. I like the instrumental, especially in that instrumental chorus part. It's the most interesting part there. It's just kind of catchy. I don't know, I like it. Well, objectively, I think I'm gonna give it a 9.2 out of 10. Although, actually, no, I'm gonna give it a 9.1 out of 10 because I think most NCT fans would agree with my opinion, because I would assume most of them would be into NCT 127 for the rap heavy and hard hitting sound that they have, but who knows, I don't know. That's just how I think most people would think. But still, there's nothing really bad about the song, so yeah, it's gonna be a 9.1 out of 10. So now let's get into what I'm really here about, that being NCT 127's Nonstop. So let's get into it. I'm really excited. I really want to see whether I'm gonna love it or not. So let's get into it in 3, 2, 1. Wait, that's Jaehyun? I've actually heard a little bit of this song, the beginning specifically, and for some reason I thought it was Lucas. Was that his name? Who is not even in this group, who was singing it, rapping it. Okay, I can definitely see why people thought that this song was better than Punch. I definitely think this is the objectively better song, but Punch is definitely more to my taste. Although this one also has a lot of rapping, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm actually gonna react to this one a second time just to make sure I feel about it exactly how I'm gonna feel about it, even after like 3 listens or more. Definitely more on the melodic side of things, so I'm not really sure. I would say for me that it's better than Punch, because Punch is much rougher and harder hitting. Still not as good as their older songs like Simon Says or Chain or Wakey Wakey, but it's still pretty good. Ooh, that high note. Honestly, personally, I don't like this switch to more vocal-based songs that NCT has went into. I honestly thought I was more into NCT than I was in Stray Kids, but with the fact that NCT has started to release much more vocal based, and for some reason even their harder hitting songs have become way too polished and kind of softened in a certain way. I don't know how exactly to explain it. I've really actually gotten much more into Stray Kids because Stray Kids on the other side have been ramping up with the harder hitting sounds. So yeah, I don't know what happened with NCT. Like with the release of Superhuman, I feel like they switched their sound a little. I personally love what they released from like Cherry Bomb until Superhuman. I still like their songs, but it feels like at this point even NCT Dream releases much harder hitting songs. Like Riding is so much harder hitting than Punch. And for some reason like Punch and Kick It even have a certain polished feel to them that Simon Says, Wakey Wakey, Chain didn't have. I don't know what's that about. But yeah, let's get into this one more time before I say my final opinion about it. And let's get into it in 3, 2, 1. I'm actually genuinely surprised that it's Jaehyun the one doing this opening part. His voice sounds so much like Lucas. Yeah, I think this song does a really good job of balancing the rapping and the singing, not letting either overwhelm the other, although I'd say it's a little bit more leaning towards singing. Yeah, considering the rest of the songs on this repackaged album are obviously from the last album, I'd say this one is definitely the most memorable out of this album, outside of the title track, obviously. You know what's really funny? The fact that at this point I've actually been learned to tell apart every single NCT member, or at least most of them, but I still can't learn 17. Well, granted, 17 is also a little bit out of my circle of favorite groups, so there's that too. Damn, this doesn't sound like Taeyong at all. Okay, so honestly, I'm not sure how exactly I feel about it. I'm not really blown away, but I'm not really disappointed either. I guess you could say it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. I was hoping that it was going to be better, but it was fine. Like, I think it's objectively the better song in between this and Punch. But also Punch is like more of a targeting specific demographic or specific taste, a specific kind of fan. So it's not really kind of like a debate between which one is better, because uh, they're targeting different kinds of fans, I would say. But in a certain way, yeah, I'd say Nonstop is definitely the more mass appealing one, and because of that, I guess you could say it's the objectively better one. For me, for me to be able to listen to this song constantly and replay it constantly, it will definitely have to be a little bit more hard hitting. So because of that, I'm only gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I know, so low, but yeah, right now I think I would give Punch a 9.2 out of 10. I don't know what I did it in my give it in my reaction, but now I would give it a 9.2. So for this, I'm actually gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Well, objectively, I think I'm gonna give it actually a 9.8. It's still not a 10 out of 10, because I feel like some people like me who are into the more hard-hitting stuff might be a little bit disappointed by this one not being as hard-hitting, although there are definitely some moments like the opening rap by Jaehyun, and Mark and Taeyong's raps are as good as always, but it just has a little bit too much vocals in it for me to really love it. Although, as I said, I do recognize it's a really good song. So was it worth the hype? I would say no. But what can you do? So yeah, if you guys have any K-pop songs you want me to react to, make sure to comment them down below, and I'm gonna add them to my list. But I don't want to promise when I'm gonna get to your specific request, because I do have a lot of songs to react to, and especially recently with the waves of comebacks, I haven't been able to do even my usual scheduled reactions, which I should have been able to. Like, I've stalled reacting to Icon and 2 PM for like 2 months at this point. Not only because of the comebacks, but because of personal stuff, but the comebacks are a huge reason why. So yeah, keep that in mind, that it might take a while to get your specific request, but do write it down. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. Also, check out the list in the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me there, and to my Wattpad where I post my stories. Because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you don't end up enjoying my stories or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to Patreon or Subscribestar, where you can pledge your support and help keep the channel going. It helps support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. But still, if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out by liking this video, subscribing, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think that's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!